AC/DC is a band that, I mean, they practically invented the concept of stadium rock.
Oh, absolutely. They're the blueprint.
Right. They have sold over 200 million records worldwide. They play to literal oceans of human beings. We're talking 80,000 screaming fans at a time.
Yeah, it's massive.
So, with all that in mind, why does the official YouTube channel for this legendary multi-platinum global entity have a carefully preserved, officially curated playlist sitting right there on their front page with exactly 43,801 total views?
It is wild when you actually say that number out loud.
Right. Not 43 million. 43,000. So today for this deep dive, you haven't sent us, a 50-page academic paper or some thick stack of investigative journalism.
No, not at all.
You've handed us a digital artifact that, frankly, just shouldn't exist. You sent us the raw, scraped metadata of a literal YouTube playlist titled Favorites from the official AC/DC channel.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds incredibly mundane on its face.
Totally.
Like a famous rock band clicked the like button on a few videos. Big deal. But when you actually start looking at the structure of this playlist, it completely subverts your expectations of how a massive global brand operates online.
Yeah.
We shouldn't look at this as just a random list of videos. It's a digital archaeological site.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the premise here is bizarre and honestly deeply fascinating. When you dig into the layers of this specific playlist, you realize it serves as this absolutely perfect, albeit unintentional, time capsule.
Unintentional is definitely the key word there. Legacy media-like, these untouchable titans of the 20th century music industry, they just did not know how to interact with early internet fan culture.
We were totally lost.
Completely.
Yeah.
And this playlist is a snapshot of that awkward, wonderful transitional moment, kind of just fossilized in code.
And the physical scale of AC/DC compared to the microscopic footprint of this digital metadata is where the mystery really starts for me.
Right.
Because, according to the file you shared with us, this playlist consists of exactly 25 videos. But crucially, 5 of those videos are marked as hidden or unavailable.
Which is such a strange thing to see on a highly manicured corporate channel.
Exactly. And we also have that view count we mentioned, the 43,801. But the most jarring detail of all, the thing that gave me a genuine chill as I was reading the source notes, is the timestamp.
Oh, yeah.
This playlist is marked, quote, last updated on February 6, 2025.
That is the detail that truly elevates this from just a forgotten web page to something much more complex.
It's spooky.
It really is, because it proves there is a human hand still touching this artifact today.
You know, the analogy that kept popping into my head as I was reading through this, it's like breaking into the attic of a rock god.
I love that.
Like you sneak in, you bypass all the platinum records on the wall, and you find this dusty, forgotten cardboard box in the corner. And inside is a weird little mixtape of grainy home movies.
Right, right.
But just as you're blowing the dust off the cassette, you notice fresh footprints. The curator, whoever runs the AC/DC digital footprint, stopped by in February 2025 to tinker with it.
Yeah, they were just there.
And yet, despite that recent activity, there are still those 5 unavailable videos sitting right there in the middle of the track list.
It's weird.
There's something deeply eerie about finding a curated gallery where 5 of the paintings have just been ripped out of their frames, leaving empty wall space.
What's fascinating here is, well, it's the concept of internet rot or link rot.
Right.
We have this collective delusion that the internet is permanent. We think because something is digital, it's just immortal.
Yeah, it feels like once you upload something, it's etched in stone somewhere in a server farm.
But that server farm is a physical place with real-world vulnerabilities. Link rot happens because the underlying architecture of the internet is constantly shifting.
Yeah.
A domain name registration expires, or a hosting company migrates their servers, and the URL directory changes from an old HTTP structure to a new, secure HTTPS protocol, which just breaks the original link.
Ah, so the code literally just snaps.
Exactly. Or, and this is way more common with early YouTube, the original uploaders simply delete their accounts.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that happen.
Or massive algorithmic copyright sweeps just wipe out millions of files overnight. These 5 hidden videos represent that mechanical fragility perfectly.
It's so true.
I mean, think about the last time you tried to find an old video you favorited in high school, only to see that gray video unavailable icon.
It's the worst feeling.
That's link rot. Now imagine that happening to a billion-dollar brand. Here's an official, recently updated playlist from one of the biggest bands in the world, and even they don't have the power to stop the decay of the digital world.
Wow.
Whatever those 5 videos were, they are gone. Parts of this specific history have evaporated, despite the channel being actively managed in 2025.
The fact that those 5 videos rotted away into the void makes the surviving 20 incredibly vital, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
They are the only proof left of what acdc was actually trying to do here, because when you look past the missing metadata and examine the primary content of the surviving DNA, you hit this massive, dense block of fan videos.
Right.
And they are all from roughly 17 years ago.
Yes, the vast majority of those surviving videos belong to a very specific, singular event in the band's digital history.
Yeah, they all center around a contest. It was called acdc Give IOU God, all one word.
Catchy.
Very Web 2.0. The premise was asking fans to upload covers of the acdc song Rock'n'Roll Train.
Yeah.
And the usernames attached to these videos are just, they're pure, uncut, early internet gold.
They really are.
We aren't looking at polished influencers with verified check marks and ring lights and personal branding agencies.
Definitely not.
We are looking at people named Xanny 2008.
That is incredible.
We have Giant Angus.
Perfect.
50 Dump Truck. Rocker in VA. Back in Black 6664. Fafangus. And my personal favorite, just a random string of lowercase letters, Fate.
It's literally a roll call from an entirely different era of the web.
And the view counts reflect that era perfectly, too. We look at Fight's video, and it has just 6.9K views after 17 years.
Wow.
The user 50 Dump Truck has 16K views, and then Andrew Herman, who seems to be the runaway success of this specific fan group, tops out at 53K views.
A viral sensation for the time.
Right. But now I have to stop and push back on this a little bit.
Okay, go for it.
Because you're framing this as this beautiful, organic interaction, but I have to genuinely question the strategy here.
How so?
Well, if I'm managing acdc 17 years ago, this is a band used to multi-million-dollar music videos directed by cinematic visionaries. Why in the world would I use the official channel to save low-resolution 10,000-view fan covers from a guy named 50 Dump Truck?
That's a fair question.
I hear you saying it's community building, but retaining a video with 6,000 views for 17 years feels less like a strategy and more like, I don't know, an intern lost the password to the account.
You think it's just an accident?
Are we giving them too much credit? Let's remember the context here. 17 years ago, record labels were notoriously draconian about copyright strikes.
Oh, yeah, ruthless.
They were actively suing teenagers for downloading MP3s. You're telling me they suddenly wanted to be best friends with 50 Dump Truck?
That is exactly the point, though. You have to look at the sheer panic happening in the music industry at that exact moment.
Okay, panic is a good word for it.
If we go back 17 years, we're looking at the late 2000s. The industry was suffering from a massive Napster hangover.
Right, CD sales were just tanking.
Plummeting. Piracy was rampant. The old top-down broadcast model where a label spends $1 million on an MTV video dictates what is cool, and the fans obediently drive to a store to buy it that was entirely breaking down.
Yeah, FTV wasn't even really playing music videos anymore anyway.
Exactly. So the panic forces their hand. They look at this new thing called YouTube and realize they don't control the distribution anymore.
It's out of their hands entirely.
Precisely. This was the adolescence of Web 2.0. The transition from Web 1.0, which was essentially just reading static text on a screen, to Web 2.0, which was all about user-generated content, interaction, and social media.
The era of the comments section.
Exactly. These massive, historically untouchable corporations were suddenly looking at platforms like YouTube and realizing that the fans were now on their own turf, making their own rules.
Yeah.
The Give It All You Got contest wasn't some altruistic gesture of friendship. It was a desperate, albeit highly effective attempt to figure out how to remain relevant in a participatory culture.
Ah, so it was survival.
Completely.
Yeah.
acdc's management realized that the value of YouTube in those early days wasn't just in broadcasting, it was in engagement. By explicitly asking fans to play Rock'n'Roll Train and then officially bookmarking those videos, they were turning consumers into collaborators.
It's almost like pulling a kid out of the front row to play guitar on stage.
That's a great way to put it.
You don't do it because the kid is the greatest guitar player on earth. You do it because it electrifies the rest of the stadium. It proves that the barrier between the gods and the mortals can be crossed.
And culturally, acknowledging 50 Dump Truck's webcam video validates that entire digital fan community.
It really does.
It tells millions of potential record buyers, hey, we see you and you are part of this band.
Yeah.
It requires a huge amount of vulnerability from a corporate brand to associate their pristine, multi-million-dollar intellectual property with a grainy, poorly lit video recorded in a teenager's messy bedroom.
Seriously.
But that rawness was the actual currency of the early internet.
I can see that. During that era, authenticity was definitely valued over production quality.
For sure.
But as we keep scrolling up through the Survivor videos on this playlist, the honeymoon of bedroom jams abruptly ends.
It really takes a turn.
Yeah, the remaining videos show a very distinct, very sharp shift in tone, in purpose, and ultimately in popularity. The playlist clearly evolves from this grassroots fan community board into a much more calculated promotional tool.
The timeline progresses and the digital strategy matures.
Yeah.
The platform itself was changing under their feet, and the content on this playlist mirrors that maturation perfectly.
We move away from Xanny 2008 in his basement, and suddenly we're hit with a 31-second PV ad for Iron Man 2, the soundtrack out now.
A huge pivot.
Right. That was uploaded 16 years ago, and it has 220K views. And then we see direct merchandise promotion creeping in. There's a video by a user named Waseracer playing the acdc Backtracks amplifier, which was part of a very expensive physical box set release. That one got 120K views, also 16 years ago.
Product placement, basically.
Exactly. But here's where it gets really interesting. The starkest contrast of all is a video by a creator named David Mosho titled Backtracks Back in Black. This one is from 11 years ago, so a bit later than the rest, and it commands the highest viewership on the entire playlist by a massive margin.
It's not even close.
No, it's sitting at 558K views.
That contrast is the crux of the whole artifact.
We have gone from a 6.9K pixelated bedroom jam from Fate to over 500,000 views on a much slicker, highly produced piece of content from David Mosho.
Yep.
It doesn't feel like a community board anymore. It feels like a commercial broadcast.
It is a perfect illustration of the tectonic shift in digital video.
Yeah.
When we analyze those view counts, the narrative of how the internet fundamentally changed becomes incredibly clear. The corporate tie-ins like licensing music to Marvel for Iron Man 2, which, by the way, was a massive financial lifeline for legacy bands during the piracy era.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
And the more polished, semi-professional content like David Mosho's, they naturally attracted hundreds of thousands of views. They completely dwarfed the grassroots contest entries.
Yeah.
This raises an important question about how platform algorithms and user consumption mechanically shifted over time.
It's like YouTube transitioned from a bustling town square where, whoever brought a guitar could gather a crowd to a corporate shopping mall where the landlord only leases stage time to the stores pulling in the most cash.
That is an excellent way to conceptualize it. In the early days, or around the time of the Give It All You Got contest, the YouTube algorithm was incredibly rudimentary.
Very basic.
Yeah, the platform was largely driven by clicks, chronological feeds, community subscriptions, and direct person-to-person sharing.
So if you participated in a community event, you were visible within that specific community.
Exactly. But as YouTube grew into a global behemoth, their business model demanded that users stay on the site as long as possible to be served more advertisements.
They couldn't rely on chronological feeds anymore if they wanted to maximize ad revenue?
Precisely. The algorithm fundamentally shifted from being click-based to retention-based. They started tracking watch time.
Watch time, right.
YouTube realized that pushing high-retention, slickly produced videos kept users from closing the tab. The algorithm stopped rewarding raw community participation and started actively prioritizing polished commercial products.
Which means
Videos with professional lighting, better pacing, high-resolution audio, and broader mass appeal.
So David Mosho gets 500,000 views because his content plays nicer with the machine.
Exactly.
He understands lighting, audio mixing, and pacing, which keeps viewers watching longer, so the algorithm just feeds his video to more people.
Right.
Whereas Fachaka gets buried under the digital soil because a low-res cover song with bad audio just doesn't keep a general audience watching for 10 minutes.
No, they click away after 10 seconds.
The playlist itself acts like a timeline of YouTube's corporate adolescence. It starts with, hey, let's all jam together and see what happens, and ends with, please buy the Iron Man 2 soundtrack and our branded guitar amplifier.
And it's important to understand the mechanics of why that shift happened. The early internet was a place you went to participate.
You actively engaged.
The modern internet is a place that serves you content passively.
Yeah.
That transition from a participatory two-way medium back into a one-way broadcast medium, just a highly personalized, algorithmically driven broadcast medium, is captured right here in these 20 surviving videos.
It's all right there.
acdc started by asking fans to create with them. But as the platform optimized for ad revenue, the strategy inevitably reverted to broadcasting commercials at them.
It's wild that you can see that entire macroeconomic shift just by looking at the view counts, the usernames, and the upload dates of a single AC/DC playlist.
It really is.
So what does this all mean? We started this deep dive looking at a seemingly random, sparsely viewed playlist with just over 43,000 hits.
Right.
But what you actually handed us is a flawless microcosm of the internet's evolution. It charts the journey from that raw, awkward, early community-driven era where a band that fills stadiums tried to reach through a computer monitor to connect with a guy named 50 Dump Truck, straight through to the slick, algorithmic corporate cross-promotion of Marvel movies and branded merchandise. Yep.
It maps out the exact moment the internet lost its quirky amateur charm to corporate optimization. And it's all frozen in time. Yet inexplicably, someone was just there in February 2025, adjusting the frames on the wall and sweeping up the dust.
It is a remarkable artifact for exactly that reason. And as we consider those adjustments and the fragile structure of this playlist, I think there is a profound takeaway here about our own personal relationship with digital media.
Oh, absolutely.
We talked extensively about link rot, those 5 hidden, unavailable videos that just vanished into the ether due to server migrations or deleted accounts.
Yeah, the digital decay.
This specific playlist is AC/DC's curated history, their favorites. But every single person listening right now has their own favorites list.
Oh, definitely.
We have our liked videos, our bookmarked articles, our saved photos in the cloud. We curate our own digital lives with the arrogant assumption of permanence.
It's so true. We just think it's always going to be there. But seeing a titan like AC/DC lose parts of their own curated history really challenges that assumption. It makes you wonder as we move forward, how much of your own personal history is quietly succumbing to internet rot right now?
Wow.
How many of the digital memories you think are safely stored away are slowly turning into unavailable videos without you even noticing?